Welcome to another episode of the Rainmaker Podcast. Today, we are going to discuss why every agent should be using video marketing as part of their strategy. Learn what, when, and how of video marketing for every stage of the home buying and seller's journey. Quiet on the set, counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. Let's get started. Welcome to the Rainmaker Podcast, where we help business-minded real estate agents stop chasing leads and help them start attracting business. We don't claim to make winners here. We do claim that we help winners win bigger and faster. Building your business is building your database, one that works harder for you than you do for it. So if you want to get off the transaction treadmill, keep on listening. If you want the shortcut to dominating your market, then go to www.marketmakersystems.com/demo. All right, guys. This is definitely a very important topic, especially considering, so many agents right now in the real estate community are just missing the boat. And it feels like the only people that are really taking advantage of this are the people that are at the top of their game. And so I hope we can really bring a lot of awareness to, the market makers of the world and help them implement exactly what they could be doing in order to leverage this powerful tool.
Absolutely. I think it's interesting how, just things come full circle. As far as video is concerned, video is something I used way back in the day with VHS tapes, I mean, it was a powerful tool back then. I think people see value in it in a different way than just reading a web page. Or I just think it has a high sense of value. One of the things I personally learned a long time ago was that people are just dying to be entertained throughout their day. They're dying for a little break, a little 2-minute break. And I know most people see the world through the lens of their own eyes. Me personally, I'm guilty of that. I'll hop on YouTube, I'll hop on Facebook, I'll watch some videos. I just find them to be a more important part of my world and my day as time marches on.
Yeah, and and I think it's a little bit more important than that. I mean, regardless, whether we want to do it or not. I know there's a quote out there from a Facebook executive that predicts that their entire platform will be 90% video consumption over the next 5 years. And this is a report that was put out this year. So regardless, 82%, and I know this, I'm not reading anything. I know this because it was that shocking of all Twitter, the people who are on Twitter consume video. Like literally, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today about just the power of video on Twitter alone. So video is it's not just video, as you would think about it in the past. Video is an easy, cameras used to be a big barrier of entry. You could have VHS cassettes and tapes and stuff, but, to get a video camera that would shoot quality video used to be extremely expensive. We have better cameras in our cell phones than most cameras, that people shot video with over a decade ago. So the point is that, one of the things that are important is like literally the camera on your computer is powerful enough to get a message out. And more importantly, the platforms out there where all of our clients and, the world is really living through, throughout their day and consuming. If you're not in video, then you're just leaving a gaping wide hole for somebody else to really take the mind share of your ideal customer, or maybe one of your past clients. You're just leaving that blind spot wide open for other people to take advantage of.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And something that just got me going was the consumption of those videos, right? Like we were just talking about this yesterday about the consumption. More consumption equals more trust, and the more time people spend with you, and video is even more so than an email that you could write or a blog post that you could write. For the most part, for us internally, I've seen probably about a 200% increase in how long people stick on a page when there's a video there versus just having plain text on a page. So it's all about consumption to be able to have people know, like, and trust you even more. And I've been one of those people, like, Snapchat freaks me out. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, But all it is little tiny snaps of people throughout the day, video. And I just know people that are younger than me, that are older than me, that spend hours a day on Snapchat just watching videos. And that's probably one of the fastest unicorns that ever came up in the tech space, was Snapchat going from nothing to a $1 billion valuation like in a heartbeat. But it's only because, people want to consume video. And it's easy. They don't have to read. And it's just a good way to connect with people now that, Reese, you're right. It's easy to do now. And if you're not doing it, you have a giant blind spot.
Yeah. And if people don't agree, one of the things that you got to understand is video's always been powerful, but the technology didn't allow people to consume. If you think about dial-up and then our cell phones, video consumption was elastic to your bandwidth. And so, right now what's happened is now people can produce live videos, and currently online, there's a statistic that was put out by Cisco that said that in 2018, 13% of all video traffic all traffic online will be from live internet video. And so if you think about that and just let it digest, I know that we split tested from going to conferences and looking at just the overall conversion. And that's really what we're talking about is a landing page converts by average up to 22% more when the right video with the right message is put on. So we're not just talking about getting strangers to your website, which is obviously, get 20. Go think about this. Think about 1 in every 5 people that come to your website. What is the landing page? What is the call to action? What was the ad that they saw before? But then after that, 95% of those people we do nothing with. What we should be doing is we should be educating those people. Right now, what people don't realize, and this is just, this is kind of more of a personal soapbox for me, if you will. But right now there is this wealth of information, and it really creates what I would consider as a poverty for people's attention. And Seth Godin has a quote out there, a famous quote that I used to actually have on a journal of mine, and it says, "You have to turn attention into permission into learning, and learning into trust." And so when someone can know, like, and trust you and decide that they want to do business with you, there's just so much things that you can convey. Voice, you can convey tone. With video, you can convey facial expressions. You can show your environment. One of the biggest things that people don't realize in influence is, if you read Cialdini's book, is a car. Look at all these people driving around in cars with videos. Do you know why? Because when somebody takes you from one location to another, they feel like they spent more time with you and know that they actually know you better. That's just the psychology in marketing. That's why literally 87% of professional online marketers and CMOs use video in their marketing and sales. And so if you think about it, if the top agent in the world doesn't have the most clients and it's the best marketer that ends up with the most clients, then what things are you doing right now that aren't working to maximum? And what's your landing page converting out? What is, do you have a video you could send to a seller before you do business with them? What is the biggest objections you overcome? And could you have an objection sequence that either you tell or educate the person before they even have the objection? Or could you use a testimonial demonstration to overcome an objection before it's an objection, before you even show up face to face, to ease the concern of people, to have someone further down the decision path of choosing you over your competitors? And to me, video at the core is the ability to scale the message in a way that the person can consume and receive the message. And that's just powerful leverage.
I think you want to be strategic about it as well and center it around the story, not necessarily the sale. People don't want to watch commercials. So if you're educating them, educate them in a way that isn't, and by the way, give me your business. Educate them in a way that adds value. That would be my 2 cents to add to that statement.
Yeah. The thing is that, let's say every call to action that you have right now, is it on video? Is it on YouTube? People search through video. Right now, people do not realize, if you go to Twitter is kind of like a listening tool where you listen to the marketplace, right? And people speak. YouTube is a how-to. I mean, I fixed my washer, my dryer. So exactly what you're saying, Mike. If you can understand the situations that are and the problems that are facing your ideal person, then you can go shoot how-to videos. You can embed meta tags with keywords that will actually show up in the search engines. You can take those videos and upload them to a YouTube channel, to your Facebook, to your social media. You can post them. They will live out there like assets for people, not only just to do business with you today, but people who want to decide as they're moving through their journey. For an example, I know one of the most powerful things that I did for myself was really shot what I would call is a core story type video. And so in a consulting business that I own, we consult with people that pay us literally thousands of dollars an hour. And that's a lot of money. That could be upwards of $30,000 in consulting fees. And those consulting fees, let me tell you, some of the times we've talked to strangers, some of our best clients, Jake, and I'm thinking of one in particular in Atlanta, right? Like, how does a person go from over the phone and calling you and say, hey, I'm ready to do business with you, when they never met you? And the reason why is because they consumed. And when they consume videos, and you're able to convey that message around what you stand for, what you stand against, and you're able to deliver that in an intentional way, it's probably, in my opinion, one of the most important things. Let me give you an example, okay? For instance, right now, I talked to a guy, his name was Tim, and Tim says every single year his clients ask him a question, and it's about debating their tax assessed value. If that were me, I would shoot a video. I'd give them exactly step by step what to do, and I would upload it to a custom audience in Facebook to all my past clients, right? And if I had 100 past clients, I would pay $20, and they would probably all see the video, right? And I would say, hey, listen, I just wanted to shoot this short little video. I know it's that time of the year again. Anytime, I mean, it's leverage. He literally was frustrated because he said this time of the year, he said, since for the last 10 years, this time of the year, he gets more calls, more distractions. So it's not only like video can be used in such a way to like educate, set expectations, but think about when you have a listing on the market, okay? You have a listing on the market. One of the things that's a huge opportunity for people once someone becomes a client is to deliver a client experience that exceeds their expectations. So imagine if you had a video series of frequently asked questions. What if you had a video that made the process visible so they knew what to do? So not only could you set the expectations, you could exceed the expectations because you took the time to clearly articulate the expectations. We don't want to assume that our clients know that we're going to call them a week, a month, where they're going to get feedback, when they should consider reducing the price. You want to educate the customer. There's no benefit in getting 100 listings if 90 of them don't sell. I mean, the worst thing you could do is go spend all the time, energy, and effort and get someone to know, like, and trust you and get them to do business with you, then, not have an effective way to communicate to them proactively. So if it were me, I would actually have a video series that I told the client after they signed the listing paperwork, hey, listen, every week I'm going to send you a video. Here's the things that they're going to talk about. Because again, that video is going to be consumed. And here's the best part, Mike. The best part about video, if you have the right technology, you can know who consumed it, when they consumed it, how much they consumed of it. You can trigger other actions. You can you can put them into different audiences. You can move them through the process just by leveraging video. So that's just the opportunity's endless. Not to include, people could actually share videos, which is just, another entire opportunity of, getting past clients and you sharing the successes that you have and making your value visible. And, value not articulated, guys, and I've always said, is value not appreciated. If you're not getting a video testimonial from every client, but you have unconverted leads and you're not getting a video, posting it on your blog and sending a link out, and knowing which people are clicking on those, then you're simply just missing out on opportunity. And if you're not doing that and you're spending more money in paid advertising, then you could potentially be just burning money.
No doubt about it. And the other thing that you mentioned was creating those tags, those meta tags, lacing in keywords. You're laying golden bricks. You're getting a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1, because when you upload those, when you put those on your site, when you put them on YouTube, you are becoming search engine optimized at that time. And if you do it right and really tell them what they're going to get about the video, in the description and really in the beginning of the video, so they can, get that congruency. Oh, I came to the right place. I'm going to get my question answered. You're going to be having that dual benefit, which is just exponential. It's amazing. It's really cool, the things that you're able to do today with technology that you could 5-10 years ago very efficiently.
Yes. And there's, I mean, what you both just went through, like, there's so much gold in there. And if people can just go and implement, they can see an immediate shift. And Reese, you were talking about it a little bit ago about how the go-to place that you have to fix things, right? Or if you have questions, you go to typically Google or YouTube to watch a video on how to do that, right? If you're going into Google in 2006 acquired YouTube for like $1.65 billion, which probably, if you go back and look at that 12 years ago, was probably one of the best tech acquisitions that's ever happened. Because I don't know what YouTube on its own is probably worth today, but I know it's far greater than probably 10 billion, which is probably a good investment. So if you, now that in the last 12 years, Google has acquired YouTube, anytime you have YouTube content, Google absolutely loves it for search, right? So it's something that we've been moving towards as well. But when you have something that is just the questions that people would have in your area about selling their home or buying a home, and you can dominate the video content on YouTube and on Facebook, and you're everywhere, you will not help. You could not stop it. Just being able to attract business. And who doesn't like getting some calls that are like, hey, I know you are a real estate agent here, and it looks like you know what you're doing. Do you think you could list my house? Like, if you could deal with a couple of those every single year, you'd probably want to initiate this as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing that video is people, like, I see people investing in paid traffic and they don't have a vendor program. I mean, I would have vendors, videos with my vendors. I do have a video interview with the mayor of my city. I would have explainer videos that people could easily 2 to 3 minutes go straight to a section somewhere on your website where they could have things. And here's another thing. I would have a video of my team. Like, if I was a real estate agent and I was a solo practitioner and there was somebody who did my mortgages, someone who did my title, I would have a video of those things, right? And with those people, so that they could meet the team. Don't let me have 2 or 3 people on the team, because those types of videos are going to help you, again, not only demonstrate the value, but make your value visible, right? You say you have a team, and you're working with a mortgage company, and let's say it's a seller. That mortgage company interview could talk on a video interview on how they're able to help people get pre-qualified quickly, to make sure that people who go through the home are not, whatever it is, paying tire kickers where you're not having to leave your house, on weekends to find out the person's not qualified. Those are just examples. And the point is that everything we're doing for the client, we're going to explain to somebody this year. If you could just think about as you're explaining stuff to people over the course of this year, like, hey, here's my paint guy, you should talk to him. Hey, if you can just think about those things and think just a little bit differently, how could I turn it into video? How could I transcribe the video and turn it into a podcast? And then how could I optimize that content So when people are out looking, for me, I'd have videos with every client and I'd optimize them to the neighborhood. And over time, when you sell hundreds of homes in the neighborhood, other people might have done it, but they didn't tell anybody about it because they were looking for their next listing. You were the one that took the time to put, "Hi, my name is Mike, and we're talking with the homeowner at 1606 Brunson Avenue." Well, think about 5 years from now when he goes online to look up what his home's worth, or he goes to sell the home, or somebody else is looking up what it's worth because they want to put an offer, or he does if there's sell by owner. I mean, that key word, there's not going to be many homes optimized to the address. You know what I mean? And so it's again, in real estate, Jay used to always tell me when he got to selling 4,000 homes, he was like, "Man, sometimes I sell homes 2 or 3 times." And the point of that is that there's also times, and Oddo, I'm sure you can relate to this, where someone else lists a home that you're like, "Hey, I sold that home before," right? But if you were telling the buy side, "Hey, I helped find the buyer for this home, I helped find the seller for this home," just over and over, just publishing that content, like both of you and I think it's just what we refer to it as, you're just laying those bricks out there, and over time it's going to be a competitive advantage. There's no doubt about it. At worst case scenario, you should have as much proof. There's no reason why you should not have. If you got to start somewhere, start with proof. And I'll end with this: most people don't shoot video because of their own constraint in their thinking, and I know this to be true. And if you remember the book by Timothy Ferriss, 4-Hour Workweek, where he tells people, get over where you're uncomfortable. And he has a little challenge for people. You're just gonna have to learn to get a little bit uncomfortable. If that's you, if it's not you, great. But if it is, my mental model for video is, if it enters your mind that, man, I think I should shoot a video, or this would be a good video, then you always shoot that video. And if you can live by that, you'll build an amazing library.
Absolutely. Keep it short and sweet. Make sure it's light and entertaining. Make sure it's not boring. And make sure you're consistent with it. I've seen a lot of agents start to do this and then trail off and never do it again. That's what I want to end with. Stay consistent.
Yeah. Stay consistent. Yep. If you could shoot a couple videos, upload them to your site, nice, quick and easy, and then send those links out to your email list. And do it in a strategic way where you're doing it with your vendor partners to offset some of your paid advertising. I think that would be an amazing strategy, and executed correctly could yield a foundation for a great business, especially when it comes to attracting people in your community to come to you, to reach out to you versus you chasing them down.
Absolutely. The best part is it's free. You might as well start doing it.
And it's the land, air, and sea. This is just another tune. There are people that prefer video over reading. There are people that prefer reading over video. There are people that prefer listening over watching. Right? Like, yeah. You just have to make sure that you're covering all your bases. Otherwise, if you're paying right now for leads, you are wasting money if you're not doing everything you can to stay in front of and stay top of mind with every single person you've made a subscriber in your database.
And here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line. We recently we spent probably we spent some time, probably a majority of this year, making it really easy for people who use the market maker systems to shoot video. If you haven't seen it, and if you think like it's the tech overwhelm, if you want to see push button easy, our new Authority Maker product, not only is it extremely affordable and shouldn't cost you a dime if you understand, how to leverage vendor programs, but if you haven't checked it out and literally seen the blogging components, the consumption components of content, and the things, make sure you go check it out. How would somebody, Jake, reach out to you guys if they wanted to take a look at, the market maker tool and how it's leveraging video and turning those things into content like blogs, and how we're able to track the consumption of that?
Yes. So if you would like to, you can email me Jake at marketmakerleads.com, and I will set up some time to be able to walk you through. Otherwise, you can go to marketmakersystems.com/demo and check it out there as well.
Awesome.
Well, great, guys, man. What another great podcast. And I know as it relates to the attention of our audience, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Hey, listen, this is all about building a business that works harder for you than you do for it. And we're simply just sharing with you what you can do in order to literally dominate your market by having a system and a core process around building a business. And so with that being said, thanks so much for spending time with us. You either take time to work in your business
or on your business.